Okay, so I want to preface this video by saying that this happened in 2001. I did originally record it and put it on TikTok, but because of some backlash I was getting from certain people in the community, I had to set those to private. But recently there has been an uptake in missing people in my area. And I feel like it is important to keep these stories out there. Keep your head on a swivel and be very vigilant when you go somewhere.
Alright, so I'm sure that nobody's really gonna see this, but I need to tell the story of what happened tonight. It is extremely important, regardless of where you live. These are scary times that we are in, and being vigilant is definitely your best friend. So, last night and tonight, somebody at one of the hotels ordered 3 different times, yesterday and today, and they were over like a 2 or 3 hour period both days. The first driver that went out there, she went out there twice yesterday. And then I got the third one yesterday. And then I went out there twice today. And then our male driver got the third one today. Yesterday, that room it pissed off our one driver because they weren't tipping. And it's kind of a long way for us to drive. It's like at the other end of town. And then today when they ordered, they didn't tip me. But we got nervous after the second time that I went out there today. I went out there, everything was fine. I went out there the second time, there was a guy standing on the balcony. And then there was 5 guys in the room. The first time I went out there today, there was only 1 or 2. I only seen 1. But then the second time, there was like 5 or 6 of them in the room. And 1 guy on the balcony. And then as I was leaving, there was 4 more on the other end of the balcony. And then, so like I was walking back, because the stairs are like in the middle of the entire walkway. So you have to go down to the middle, and then go down the stairs, and then go out the front door. So as I was walking over to the stairs, these 4 guys from the other end start walking toward me. And then whenever I went through the door to go to the stairs, got around to the stairs, they were coming through the door to go to the stairs. I started running down the stairs, and I hear one of them say, "Hey, are you a hooker? We're looking for a hooker. Do you want to be a hooker?" And they follow me down the stairs, across the parking lot, which thankfully my car was parked close to the door. And I ran and got in my car, locked my doors, and got the fuck out of there. They were walking away from the hotel whenever I got out of the parking lot, and they were going over toward like where Taco Bell and stuff is. And then I went back, and we decided that if there are any orders for that hotel show up again, that our guide driver would be the one to take them. Because I was not going back out there. I wasn't dealing with it. Okay. I didn't want to do it. And he agreed that he would go out there. Then sure enough, within a few minutes, another order for that room showed up. So he took it. His car is identical to mine. And we put our toppers in almost the exact same position on our cars. There's some very clear differences, but if you're not paying attention, you would think his car was mine. So he pulled in, parked, and he looked up, and he could see 2 guys up on the balcony staring down at his car. He looked over, and there was somebody over on the corner with a hood up over their head talking on a phone The two guys upstairs was on the phone. There was somebody down on the other end talking on the phone with the hood up over their heads. Like, they were all over the fucking place. And they were all on the phone with each other, communicating. And he said, nope. He backed up, and he went all the way around the building, parked on the end of it, and he looked for a second, and then he got the fuck out of there. He didn't feel safe being there, knowing what I had encountered. He did call the police. He also contacted the other pizza places around here, so that way they would know what was going on. But we are 99% sure that I was going to be kidnapped had I gone back out there. Okay, so just some real quick final thoughts. Be careful out there. It's crazy. If you're in Seymour, Indiana, stay away from Allstate Inn. That's where everything took place today. Just be careful. Be vigilant. If you go someplace and something doesn't feel right, get out and go somewhere safe. Call 911. Do what you need to do to protect yourself and anybody else that may be around you that could potentially be a victim. Just everybody be careful out there. It's madness. Alright, so we have an update on the whole me almost being kidnapped last night. My manager called the Allstate Inn, which is where this took place at, and the person at the front desk told my manager she could fuck off and that it didn't happen, that me and the other driver are both liars and that we're full of shit. My manager informed her, until this is taken care of, we will not be delivering to that hotel anymore. Now, fun fact, the owner of that hotel also owns all the other cheap motels. So Allstate Inn, Economy, Econo, Days Inn, Nights Inn, Travel Lodge, they're all owned by the same family. So if they are going to ignore the fact that they have human traffickers at one hotel, I'm going to assume that they are going to ignore the fact that they are probably going to be at all their hotels. Especially the 4 hotels that have open areas where the doors to the rooms are on the outside of the hotel instead of in an actual hallway. So yeah, just a word of advice: if you're in Seymour, Indiana, stay away from all the cheap motels because they suck anyways, and so we're just not gonna go there. All the drivers in Seymour, Domino's, Papa John's, DoorDash, Pizza Palace, you guys be careful. I know we contacted a few of you last night to let you know what was happening. Take it to heart. Don't go to the Allstate Inn, and especially don't go to the room in which we told you not to go to. I'm not going to say it on here. Just be careful. Those of you staying at hotels, be extremely cautious of your surroundings. Everybody, watch out for each other. Make sure you have each other's backs. Because I don't want anybody going through the nightmare of disappearing. Or, we don't need that here.